Okay, we're back. Yeah, I was working on it a little bit earlier, but I need to catch up on Giants news. So I was listening to a podcast and writing some code. Um, you know what I'm saying? It's training camp, so there's a lot of like big things happening. Um, you know what I'm saying? Odell Beckham is back. Don't worry about it. This is cross contamination. This is you know like if you rock with the Giants, let me know though. Let me know. We could be friends. Okay. Uh, I did. What did I do? I did some. I cleaned up the API a little bit. I added column and row, which column obviously goes to the right, row goes down. This is the nomenclature of Flutter. I don't love it. I don't understand why we don't just say down and right. It's my library. I could do that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Yeah. I have this window thing. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it, but basically you just pass it a window size that gives you a top left automatically, no margin. This we can actually, yeah, like yeah, the margin. I added a spacer function, so like spacer whatever direction you're going. Theoretically, we could even like the issue is when we're actually writing the spacer, I'm not sure that we know what the layout type we're adding it to is. So I think explicitly saying spacer X and then spacer Y wherever that may occur is probably a good idea. I gotta stop using .f. Like you really don't need it. So this is just like, as you can see, most of the lines here are elements, and that's exactly what we want. We want, you know, configuration where it makes sense to have it. Right, this isn't your typical column, right? We want it to take up the whole width. We have, we're giving it a certain style, whatever. But yeah. All right. Well, let's do this. The boys in blue. Okay. So um let's just get the rest of this like rough layout out of the way, and then we will figure out the rest. All right, so we need a fixed width. Let's say like constexpr auto left panel. Oh wait, we don't even need to do this. We could say something like well, yeah. Instead of saying, I mean, there's a number of ways to do this, right? But instead of saying, we have, instead of assigning a width to each of these things, we can just put it inside some quad. And we can say, which it already kind of is, but we could say like these, right? Row, right? That goes vertically. Dot children. And then this row dot width becomes 200, and then each of these become parent width. I don't see this. To me, you still have to change it. Like, okay, 200 is too much. Maybe 100. You still have to change it though. So honestly, like, maybe it is best to say something like That probably makes the most sense. Like, we say something like const expr auto left panel width equals 100, and then this just gets to be left panel width, left panel width, left panel width, left panel width, right? I thought I disabled doing that, and then we can get rid of this like extra layout, because all that was doing was sort of like saying each of these has a specific width, right? 100 is too small, maybe 130. Okay. What's next? Okay, so now we need a list view of all these different tracks with a text, 2 buttons, some image, and then more text. I'm just gonna do it, 1, 2, 3, whatever. So we're gonna say, so we have, this is basically our left panel, but this is supposed to be lined up with, so we actually do want, this is gonna be columns. And then this is going to be a row. And then next to it is going to be another row. Well, this is probably technically one big. Let's do this. Let's do this call, and then let's say spacing is 0, and then let's put a row with some. Okay, wait. I think I forgot to begin there. And then we need a begin, and then we need our commas so it looks nice. Okay, so down here, this is where we're gonna have like our for auto I equals 0. Well, what's the clearest way to do this? I mean, we could do something like, no, that's stupid. I think we gotta do something like, boom. And immediately evaluated lambda. And we say for 0, I is less than 10, plus plus I. We say we want a column call with style panel children and then begin, and then text stood to string I plus 1 plus period. Do we have a period there or no? No, we don't. Let's just see what this does. Let's just see what this does. Okay, so we get our list. That's good. But okay. Should we do something like this? Should we start separating this out into functions? Should we say like auto menu? Like, do we say that's what a menu bar is, and then we add menu bar? Does that make sense? Just so we can more clearly see what's happening. We don't really know what these buttons are, so I'm not gonna like put those in a function. This can be this whole thing can be body. Well, I don't want to say that for sure. I want to say something like, is it still working? Okay. I want to say something like AB panel. Okay. Like, these are our panels. Column is left to right. I'm renaming this shit. I hate column and row. And then that way we can put this, you know, in a scope that makes sense. Okay. Now, oh, that's why. Okay. Okay. All right. So, here's a question. At what point, where do we, like, implicitly say this has no margin or this has some margin? Like, because sometimes it's like when I create a row, sometimes when I create like something like this, I want it to have margin by default. Like, I want to say like, okay, this is always gonna have the same margin, right? Like, and then sometimes I don't. And so I think if we say like, if we change this to column goes to the right, row goes down. I'm just changing this to down, and then this to right. Because for fuck's sake, I'm sorry, I'm not a Flutter dev. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think in rows and columns. I think in down and right. Like this is direction, not like not everything's a table. Like this is not a table. But at what point do we say like down and say like margin 0? Like do we say like down layout and right layout? Like I feel like these should be util things. Or should these be like down box? Like quad down, quad right, or layout down, layout right? That seems messy. I do like layout down and layout right for like boom dot margin is 0 and then dot margin is 0. Okay, so our window, it isn't going to do anything because yeah, we might as well just rebuild that from scratch. Children, menu bar doesn't, let's see what's inside menu bar. But see, this isn't really a layout, right? This still has some style. Oh man, see, Okay, I'm gonna write down my questions, and then I'm gonna like ask because you know what I'm saying. I don't unless somebody's watching this video and wants to like comment their thoughts. Like I'm gonna ask some people I know, see what they think. I'm gonna say something like, what am I gonna say? I'm gonna say top left expects top then left, but I wrote the API and still I pass in left top and spent a while trying to fix that bug, not realizing what I had done. That's like the lowest Family Guy. What have I done? Oh, what have I? It's so fucked up. It's so funny. Okay, so top left expects top. I mean, this is a classic like Always Sunny situation where it's like I designed this system, but I have no clue how it works. And then what's the other one? What was the other question I had? Oh. Because I want it to be like, I mean, what if it's just like right, no margin? Right 0M? That looks so dumb. Oh, we could say right. We could say like down. We could say with margin. I don't know. I don't love it. Okay, and then do we want margin here? Yes. Because we specify it. We actually change it. Ooh, we should make... We were literally just recreating a freaking heap. Okay, whatever. Right M. This I don't think needs margin, right? What is the left panels inside? Left panels is okay, so right has margin. That's just gonna be down. These all have margin. I mean, should it be padding? Is that really what it is? We have our left panels and then children begin down M. Oh, and then this. Oh, we have right M and then we're removing the margin. Okay, that's stupid. Okay, now everything's lined up nicely. This now what we could do here is we could say window we can make window have a 0 spacing. And I think that probably makes sense. Because now everything is like perfectly aligned. And if we want to add some space there, we can like sort of, you know, at will. Okay. And if we want to mess with the margin, it goes here. Margin becomes 50 or 20. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, like that brings us off the edge a little bit. Okay. But see, now this could be down or down margin. So it's sort of just like maybe the default should be, well, I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I really don't. Anyways. Anyways, this should be right. This should be down. This should be right. Or I guess, no, this technically has a margin. We could honestly say margin and spacing is 20 as well. Okay, that works there, except this also we want the spacing to be 20. Okay. Now, down we want the spacing to be 0. Okay. And then each of these we want, let's say width is, what's 100? Probably like 240. Let's say dot margin is 4. What else is in this? So we have 2 buttons. We have M and R. Text, button, M, button, R. Then we have a quad, which is just a waveform. Let's just call it a row, or a right. And then style. And then we'll say then there's a little break, spacer X. Let's give it 5, and then let's say there's text. Let's say keyboard. Oh. Okay. So this is sort of our list item, right? I think it will crash if we don't specify a style, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that and say we also should, this should be the default behavior, I think. So define button as, and only certain things should inherit, I'm realizing. Text should inherit but other styles probably shouldn't. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Define waveform, background color. I'm just gonna make a yellow block. So we can just use this one. 207, 140, 150. Get rid of shape. So that's not doing anything anyways. Okay, so let's cut the spacing down, way down. Now, what happens if can we specify the width of some text, or should we say like, right dot children begin, and then text, and then we say width is 20. Do we say something like that? What happened there? Did I do something wrong? Fascinating. Okay. We found a bug. So if we... I'll put that there. That's fine. Can we add something? Can we do that? Wow, why is that failing? Oh shit. Are we only adding 200 quads? Wait. Yeah. Wait, why is the quad temp buffer get... What the hell? Alright, we'll think about memory consumption later. And then we could say width is going to be 20 always. Oh. And then width is going to be waveform. And then height is going to be, well, we could just do size here. OP parent height. Now parent height, watch what happens here. See how it extends past the bottom? That's no good. That's no good, and I'll tell you why. Or that's the... See, parent height needs to say... Constraint solver. We need to do this. Minus ctx dot stack ctx dot size or ctx dot stack dot size minus 2 dot layout config dot margin dot, well, we could do this. We could say hate this scoping bullshit. It's not really bullshit. It makes sense. Margin dot left. We want to do that. Now let's just see if this works, and then we'll add it to parent width. Okay, it looks like it worked. I guess the follow-up question would be, I thought button would be taking, they might be the same height. I don't know. Whatever. I also realize I don't want this at parent height. I want this at like, well, what is it in logic? Yeah, it's pretty much parent height. These buttons are just too tall. Okay. I think the shape should technically work. Shape rounded rect. Border radius should be like, let's try 7. I know I typed 6 because I'm a fool man and an idiot. All right. We kind of have this thing, and then we just want some sort of like separator. Like, I don't know if there's like a good way to go about adding a separator, or should we just say like, okay, like the bottom is going to be 70, 81, 91. Like, do we create a new element? Otherwise, then do we specify individual border colors, or do we just create a new element? I don't know, because if we create a new element, yeah, that explodes the complexity here, or not here. Where I'm over here. It explodes the complexity here, but if we add colors for each border, that explodes the number of like the style buffer for everything gets bigger. So maybe we just do like one of these. We say down. Spacing is 0. Children. And then we say begin, and then we say that happens at the bottom, right? Wait, why is this? Oh no, that just gets done. Okay, so right, we want another right. It doesn't really matter, and then we'll say style, and then we'll say background color is Thai RGB. What did we say it was? Digital 71, 82, 91. And then we'll say dot width or dot size. We'll say 30 OP parent height or parent. Oh wait, no, it should be the other way around. It should be OP parent width, and then like 4. So let's try that. This looks so cool. If this works, I'm gonna lose my mind. Because this is like... Look at that. Okay, so we have inline styles working, except we didn't apply to the other one by default. But that's like... I don't think you guys understand. Like, that's huge. Parent width is really what it should be. And then if we say this, and we put that up here, and we say 102, 111, 119, 102, 111, 119. Look at that. Look at that. That's sexy. That's hard. That's hard. We did this shit. Come on. That's hard. Look at that. Alright, is that a good spot to stop? I don't know. Because next we're going to have to do some other stuff. I guess we might as well keep doing big picture layout stuff. Man, I'm hype about this. Let's give it a list. Let's say first off, I'm saying close all tabs in group. Okay, I'll be the first to admit it. This is a lot. Is this something? That is a lot. That's kind of fucked. But is it? Because, like, we have our panels. We have our menu bar. Everything's gonna be like in these like little functions, right? So we have our left panels. Then this is gonna be our like we need a better better name for this, but right panels. So then this becomes our track list. I'm going to capitalize L because it's not like a track list. It's a track list. And then we're going to say auto track list item. And then we're going to say and then, yeah. And let's say something like this. Let's say struct track has stood size t. Oh, probably std uint 16t index std string name, and then std or auto tracks equals std vector track, and then we'll say 0 or 1 keyboard. Actually, fuck this. We're not storing the index. The shit are we doing? No. We're saying keyboard. Well, let's just do what's in the screenshot. Break 1, break 2, break 3. Shaker 909 crash drum sound sub bass ms20 bass pad 1. See, this is way easier than Figma, right? Pad 2. Alright, we'll say that, and then we'll say for we'll say we'll take a size t index, and we'll take a track. And so we'll say idx plus 1, and then we'll say track dot name. Okay, great. Track list item. And then we can just say for const auto track in tracks track list item plus I plus plus and track. All right. Look at that. Look at that. That's sexy. That's sexy. That's hard. Okay, let's change these buttons. Well, no, let's just keep doing. So we want this thing over here. Well, really we want a divider. Digital color meter, so let's do 45, 49, 59. 45, 49, 59. And so the right panel, we go track list, and then we go down. We might say style is that. We might say width is 3. I don't see it. Oh. OP parent height. Right? Okay, yeah. Let's say 3. Okay. Alright, now we need our, like, this whole thing. 82, 93, 104. Let's call it arrangement. 82, 93, 104. We'll say... Wait, it's 82, 93, 104. I definitely messed that up, but whatever. So, under right panels, we're going to add a... I'm not going to model all of these things, just FYI. I'm just going to say down, and then we'll say dot 400, height is parent height, dot style is arrangement. All of a sudden the border radius wants to work, huh? That really should be for the whole... Like, this needs to expand, right? For the rest of the view. Let's see if we can get this ruler. That'll be fun. Oh. Okay. Now, we want this ruler thing on top. And so, we kind of need to think about how we really want to lay this out. Like, we're gonna need something here. So it should really be left panel. Should be like left panels and right panels, really. It should be like, what's the simplest way to do this? So we have a left thing that goes down. So we have a main thing that's like this. Right. So we have this thing right here, and then we have the rest of this. Then we have, within this left side, we have a down, which has all of this. Our down has our our buttons, and then our left panel. And our right panel goes to the right of our down. Okay, that makes sense. Now, our buttons and our ruler, we need to set a height for them. And it's cool because the buttons are like aligned with the top of the ruler. So the ruler can set the height. So our buttons, well, we should say our ruler height is like, let's try 60. So then we'll say something like, so then we'll say something like ruler, yeah, because in right panels, we're going to want a ruler, right? We're going to say like children, we first want it down, right? Yeah. We first want it down. Then we want to say we want one right layout with the same sort of settings, and then dot children, and what's going to be in this right layout, guys. All right, begin, and we're going to have a spacer. Let's say spacer X is track list width. How big is our track list? Each thing is 240. So let's say Constexpert auto track list width is 240. Just use floats. Where were we? Track list item menu bar, right panels. And then we're going to have I guess we'll just do this ruler. I guess we'll just do it like a sideways list view. So it would be first would be yeah, first it would be like each cell would be would it be a right? It would be a right. Yeah. Ruler height dot style background color. Let's just make it white for now. Dot width is let's make it 500 for now because maybe parent width doesn't work. In fact, I actually don't know if we added that fix. Nope. Constraint solver. And height, yeah, we did not even add it. Oh no, but it shouldn't be parent width. Yeah. This should be... And then this should have no spacing. Right. Yeah, it should be 3 plus const expert auto spacer width equals 3. Okay. That's pretty much what we want, except with the buttons. We want these height to be ruler height. Okay. And then this, the spacing that this is in, this shouldn't have any spacing. Nope. Okay, nice. Now we can say ruler height is probably going to be like probably half that, if we're being real. Maybe like 40. I'll make it 40, and then we'll add a style for ruler. We'll say define ruler. We'll say ruler container can be background color is 250. Let me just confirm that it's white. I don't think it is. 226, 226, 226. Okay. One 137, 140, 139, 137, 140, 40, 139. Okay. So then, where are we actually creating this ruler? Somewhere in the right panel. Style is just ruler, container. And then we could say something like, where did we create our, yeah, we want this color, and we want it for, where's our ruler style? We want it for like dot border color is that dot border all dot border width is f dot border radius equals 5, and then dot I think, oh, shape is rounded rect. This may need to come first. Quirky. It's quirky. It has personality. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Order matters. Alright, well, clearly shader units mean something different than units here. But, okay. I can push past it. Content scale. We need to be multiplying by the content scale. That's really what it is. Okay. Then let's say, how much time do we have on this? 107. Okay, let's add each of these things. 1, 17, 33, 49, 65, 81 with the gray blue thing beneath it, and then we'll call it a video. But dude, come on, this looks so sick. This is looking hard. This is looking dope. This is looking really dope. Don't sleep on the boy. He's been doing big things. Don't sleep on the boy. Alright, so we want our thingy to be dot. So we want alright, so we have our track list item. We also want something like, well, I'm just gonna write from scratch. We want a ruler item. Constant size t idx, and then we'll say return down spacing 0 dot let's just say children dot right. What we could do is just say like dot, like instead of calling children, like we could just like, you could just call these like API functions on the element writer and just do like dot. No, because then you can't, yeah. No, it has to be like that for aesthetics. Okay. So first we need to begin, because the guy who designed this API hates you. Okay, so right, and then we want some text. Oh no, we want children. Then we want some text that says the toString idx times 16 plus 1. This is going to be a height of 20. And then we're going to want another right. It doesn't matter. This is why we need to like have something that's a-directional, non-binary, if you will. Height. Let's say width becomes parent width. Let's say this width becomes parent width as well. make that style. Let's make that have panel style for now. That'll be easiest. Dot width will be 80. Seems good. This needs a height. Let's just do that. What is ruler height? 40. So this really should be like 13, and this should be like 37. Yeah, the white is bigger. And then so this is our ruler container, and then we have our dot children, and then we have an immediately evaluated lambda. Return element writer, which says for I equals 10, I is less than, or no, for I equals 0, I is less than 10 plus I. Ruler item I. Okay. Oh, I hate these bugs. So, is this null? Oh. Damn, this is just like in G-test when we get an exception. It's like, take me to where it actually happened. Oh, I didn't do that, that's for sure. Children begin, children begin, children begin, children begin, children begin, begin. Oh. Genius. The genius has arrived. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Look at that. That's hard. Okay, first of all, for fuck's sake. That should be 20. 27 plus 13 is 40. Okay. Then, let's say, where are we calling this from? This could actually have some margin. This, on the other hand, should have no spacing. Okay. That's wrong. This doesn't need margin. This does. But let's say dot margin is 2. Let's say margin is 3. Ruler height is, oh, minus 27. That's so dumb. I'm such an idiot. This should work. Okay, but because it inherits, see, this is where style inheritance gets annoying, where it's just like, I don't want it to inherit anything really except for text color. maybe I'll just say style border width is 0 and border radius. Okay, I don't have a function for that. Do I have shape arg? That's v2. Okay. Genius. I love myself. I do. Alright. Whatever. It's been, yeah, hour 16. Okay. I'm gonna call it here. This is what we did. This is pretty fucking cool, though. Like, I'm hype about this. I really am. Like, there's a lot of potential here. Now, one thing that I'm sort of dreading figuring out is scrolling and only rendering the things that you actually need to. Only calculating the things that you really need to. And so that's going to be a problem to solve. But I'm not against it. Like I think there's a lot of good that we're seeing right now, and like I'm pretty stoked about this. So you know what I'm saying? Signing off.